Welcome everybody. Good morning, Boker Tov, and thank you for joining us at our shir in Chovot HaLevavot every morning at 9:15, right here in Yerushalayim. We are learning now Chovot HaLevavot, the Shara Bitachon, the gate. Shara Bitachon, the gate of Bitachon of trust in Hashem, right in the middle of Perek Dalid. This paragraph begins the Yesh. We're talking about the different methods of how Hashem supplies every person with parnasa, with livelihood. And we talked about the balance between not putting too much trust in your own keli, in your own vessels for parnasa. And on the other hand, we obviously have to turn to Hashem and strengthen our bitachon, our trust in Him. Now he says that sometimes Hashem decides to funnel the parnasa for a number of people through one person. That this person is like Hashem's bank, so to speak, and Hashem trusts the person. The person should distribute the funds that Hashem has blessed him with. V'yesh shemanhig habore tarfei rabim bnei adam al yidei ish echad mehem. Sometimes Hashem gives the parnasa for several people or for many people through one. Lahavchin bazeh avodato le'elokim me'amroto. In order to test this person if he is serving Hashem or, God forbid, going against His word. וישים את זה מן הסיבות החזקות שבסיבות הניסיון וההסתה לו. And this test that the Creator gives this person is one of the most difficult tests there are from all the tests that Hashem can give a person. מפני שהיצר מסית אותו ביותר. Because the person that Hashem has blessed him, the evil inclination instigates him tremendously. Oh, you don't have to give the money. The money is really yours. It's for your own needs. And the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, tries to divert the person's focus from giving the money where he's supposed to and keeping the money for himself. Now, the greater the test is, that shows that the Yetzer Hara, that the evil inclination is even greater. And when a person is blessed with a lot of money, then the Yetzer Hara is very strong. So in other words, if a person is receiving a great test, that means the Yetzer Hara is great. Now I'm going to go an extra step further. Now I'm going to go a step further. And that is that since Hashem gives a person a test, that means that the person has the ability to overcome the test. So if Hashem gives a person a test, a person should never say, oy vey, I'm unable to stand by the test. It's too powerful for me. Because the fact that Hashem gives a person a test indicates that this person is able to stand up to the challenge. Otherwise, Hashem would not have given that person the challenge. For example, a king who has to give parnasa and livelihood to his soldiers and all of his ministers. Also the different levels. Also the different army generals, different levels of people in the army and the ministers and the vice ministers. Asher srivotehem v'nashim ukrovim. People that are around, people that are servicing the king, and the people's families, their wives and relatives. Umishtadlim ba'avuram lechazer al sibat kibbutz hamamon mipanim tovim v'raim. All these different types of people, they are trying to help the king to seek out lots of money without looking into the details. Is the person worthy or not? They work for you. You have to pay them. And so the king is one example of someone who has to supply a multitude of people with parnasa, with livelihood. I would like to point out something very important, which the Rebbe explains in one of his discourses. In fact, this discourse that I'm quoting is the final discourse that the Rebbe edited, which has to do with Purim, actually, which is coming up. Not only Purim, but Purim Katan, the small Purim, quote unquote, which is going to be soon, exactly in 1 month. Today is Tu B'Shvat, and exactly in 1 month will be the 15th of the first Adar. And exactly in 2 months will be the 15th of the second Adar, the regular Purim, which will have our Azazaza campaign around the clock. Bezrat Hashem. And so, over there, in the Maimer, in the discourse, the Rebbe explains how powerful it was that Am Yisroel stood by the test in the times of Purim. And they were at an all-time low with Haman, and also in their commitment to Hashem. But then, right before the end, when they came to the last corner, we squeezed out the quintessential point of the emunah, of faith in Hashem. Over there, the Rebbe explains an interesting point, that the test of plenty is greater than the test of poverty. Of course, no one should know about this, but the test of poverty is very, very great. For example, not only poverty as far as finances, but moreover, poverty in the sense of being oppressed, God forbid, by the evil enemies of Am Yisrael. As difficult as these tests might be, the tests of plenty is even stronger, is even greater. How do we know this? So there's a simple proof the Rebbe brings, that there are many people who there are many people who stood on Kiddush Hashem. They were willing to give over their souls, being oppressed, let's say in the former Soviet Union, and let's say to keep Shabbos and to do other mitzvahs. They would never give in to any kind of pressure. But then people came to America, to the land of the free, let's say even in the 30s and the 40s, depending obviously each one on their own time. The test of keeping Torah mitzvot was very strong. And some people who stood up to the greatest enemies of Am Yisrael, and they did not give in, and they kept Shabbos, they kept kosher, and so on and so forth. Nonetheless, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, were unable to stand by the test in the land of the free. Why is that? Should it not be easier in America to keep Shabbos? Now, of course, it was very difficult in the 30s and the 40s. If a person kept Shabbos and didn't come to work, and I heard this from people who lived through it, they would come to work Monday morning and they would send them right back home. They would fire them on the spot. So it was a very, very difficult test. Poverty was very great. Even though you would think, oh, in America, even in those days, America was the land of the free. Nevertheless, the test was very, very great for the people who came from Europe. So what do we see over here? That the test of plenty is even greater than the test of poverty. And therefore, we see over here that the test, and tomorrow we're going to continue to learn, Bezrat Hashem, about the different reasons why a person who is responsible for other people to give them food and to give them money, why they can make mistakes, and how we can strengthen ourselves and to strengthen our bitachon in Hashem, realizing that it's Hashem who provides, and that we should be able to give other people when we have the chance and we have the opportunity and the merit to give them and support other people with the fun, with the blessings that Hashem gives us. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Bezrat Hashem tomorrow morning, once again at 9:15. And of course, tomorrow evening at 7:30 at Chabad, we'll be continuing the Maimer about Purim. We look forward to seeing you there. All the best.